Going on, everybody? It's your main man back on the scene with another video. So as you see on the screen, I have Yellow Flash's video queued up. And he and I'd say as Hill versus Babyface put out excellent videos that chronicle this problem. You know, all this talk about toxic masculinity, hyper masculinity, you know, the guys that get all of the chicks, the attribute that gives you the ability to strive, the will to succeed, the desire to be the best, is bad in their eyes. It's totally nonsensical, one-sided, and hypocritical. If you're trying to improve humanity, then the topic should be toxic human traits and not specify one gender over the other. But that's not what we get. You know, if they want to break things down, let's talk about the bad things that toxic feminine traits, toxic masculine traits. Cool, that's how it should be. But that's not what we get. You know, and it's obvious. You look at some of the stuff their talking points, the male gaze and sexualizing women. They do the exact same thing when they talk about Jason Momoa, Chris Helmsworth. Exact same thing. What do you think they put them in movies for? Come on. It's obvious that they're in the movies to get the female attention. And nobody's gonna watch movies. If there's a bunch of ugly mugs up in there, fat nasties. Nobody's gonna watch that. It's a fantasy. That's the reality. It's a fantasy. You know, nobody looks like the Hulk, Superman. I mean, most dudes don't look like that. And if there's a problem, what you need to do is get your fat behind in the gym and get to work. And that goes for women too. Get to work. You know, but what really gets me, if you look at society as a whole, let's take prison sentences. Women will get less time than men for the same crimes. Or all these teachers that like having sex with young boys, they don't really do anything to them. Now, if those were men doing the same thing, all hell would break loose. But there's a lot of women that do it, and they do it more often. But that gets swept under the rug. And like when I was a kid, you know what I really hated was, don't hit girls, but they don't tell girls not to hit boys. How about everyone keep their hands to themselves? That's what really should be taught. And for me, the most annoying talking point they have is believe all women. And my response to that is, go tell that nonsense to Emmett Till's mother. Because some lying ass bitch got that boy killed. And she admitted it. And then, they never prosecuted her for it. Which is why women know they can lie on a man and their word will have more weight. Some women lie and say that you ard her. You gotta play word games with YouTube. Then you're done. You would have hell getting that off of you. But I digress. Let's get into Yellow Flash's video.
Let's talk about a little bit of hypocrisy. Here's a picture of two articles from Vice. You've got one from July 30th and one from July 28th. The Olympic heartthrob is more than a hot bod, and as you can see, you have a Olympian with his shirt off, showing his chest and his abs. And then we go over to this article inside the disturbing subreddit. Utilizes photos of Olympic women.
So This is what's a trip. It's the same damn magazine or website, whatever you want to call this rag. And a mere 2 days later, they're sexualizing the man after they bitched and moaned about sexualizing women. Man, you can't get any more hypocritical than that. It is like right there, in your face. Let's continue.
And then as you can see, we have two volleyball players there. I mean, do they think that nobody notices this stuff, or what? I just I just have never seen. I've never seen it so put on display like this. But there's also this one. This is a very famous meme. You have this, a Barbie toy. It says, "This is Barbie." Throughout the years,
Yeah, this is another thing that's a trip. Because what they're saying in the meme is true. They've been fussing about Barbie not being realistic, and gives young girls an unrealistic view of how women should look, and this, that, and all the other crybaby nonsense. But you had you don't even have to use He-Man. Just use comic books in general. You know, where they exaggerate the guy's muscles and all that stuff. That didn't make me feel some kind of way about it. All that inspired me to get in the gym. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna look like these dudes, man. I got to get my game tight. So if you have a problem with athletic bodies and all that, what you need to do is get your fat behind in the gym and get your workout on. That's what you need to be doing. Let's continue.
she has been the center of much controversy because feminists claim she represents an unrealistic, unhealthy, and unfair standard of beauty, leading to a crisis for young girls in their self-esteem. And then they show a picture of He-Man and say, literally, "This is He-Man." Like, it goes, why is it okay to do this with one but not the other, right? And then I see this today, which is what got me to want to talk about this in the first place. Look, iconic female video game characters redesigned with realistic bodies. So it's this push. Like,
This is comical. And let me help you weirdos out for a second. It's a fantasy. It's not real. Everybody that's into it knows that. And they don't care. If you want to keep it all the way a buck, if you made movies with a bunch of Ugg mugs and fat nasties, nobody's going to watch it. That's the reality. Beautiful people sells. Ugly people do not sell. That's just the way it is. That's how humanity works. Let's continue.
it's okay for men to be depicted as big, muscle-bound barbarians or whatever, or the media can straight up sexualize them as much as they want. But when it comes to women, you're not allowed to do that. And if you do it, you're sexist. Sexist. So here's an example of one of them. I'm going to pull it up because it's an article talking about it. They don't show you too much. You actually have to go to it's an online gambling site. Why are they even showing this? Probably to get people to talk about their site, but some really good examples here. I just want to show you. So here's Rain. Right here, they give her a belly. Is of course an athletic woman.
Really, mofos? I mean, really? That's realistic? So there are no pretty women out there. They don't exist. I mean, the notion is dumb. There are women who are in great shape, that are hot, straight up smoke shows. And you got women, who don't look so hot. And you got some of the straight busted. It's just the way it is. And it goes the same thing for men. It's just the way it is. Everyone can't be one way. There's a variety of bodies out there. And for the purpose of entertainment, yes, the hottest folks are going to get on the screen, and the ones that are not so hot, they're not. I mean, and realistically speaking, some fat chick like this, what's she gonna do? Couple swings. Hold up, time out. Time out. Hold up. I gotta catch my breath. We can continue fighting when I catch my breath. I mean, come on. A fat nasty like this, she's not gonna be able to fight. Let's continue.
Men who can do all kinds of things, like flipping around and all kinds of very athletic movements. She would, of course, be overweight. I mean, that would be more realistic. I'm surprised they kept the heels on for her as well. Say, what chick?
So let me cut this off here. You know, I don't want to play the whole video. I'm going to link it in the description box so you can go watch it. And you know, I found this article. The problem with a fight against toxic masculinity. So if you go through the whole thing, basically they jacked the term to twist it to fit their narrative. This article is from 2019, and I'll read a couple paragraphs. Over the past several years, toxic masculinity has become a catch-all explanation for male violence and sexism. The appeal of the term, which distinguishes toxic traits as aggression and self-entitlement from healthy masculinity, has grown to the point where Gillette, a company who will never see another dime from me, invoked it last month in a viral advertisement against bullying, sexual harassment, and it goes on, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. A predictable conflict has accompanied the term's rise. Many conservatives allege that charges of toxic masculinity are an attack on manhood itself. Basically, the way they're using it, that's exactly what it is. At a time when men already face challenges such as higher rates of drug overdose and suicide. Many progressives, meanwhile, contend that the toxification of masculinity is an essential pathway to gender equality. Amid this heated discourse, newspaper and magazine articles have blamed toxic masculinity for sex crimes, murder, mass shootings, gang violence, online trolling, climate change, Brexit, and the election of the Orange Man. And toxic masculinity can indeed be destructive. Both the conservative and liberal stances on this issue commonly misunderstand how the term toxic masculinity functions. When people use it, they tend to diagnose the problem of masculine aggression and entitlement as a cultural or spiritual illness, something that has infected today's men and leads them to reproachable acts. But toxic masculinity itself is not the cause. So, you know, you can go through the article. Basically, what I get out of it is that they jack the term. You know, because masculinity can vary between, you know, ethnic groups and, you know, whatever. But I'll link it in the description box below. And this stuff here, this is the infestation that we get. Assassin's Creed's problematic history with playable female characters. And, you know, again, they're bitching about how they look and, you know, they never complain about how the men look. It's always the women. So that's why, you know, you could tell there's definitely something against heterosexual men. Why the next Assassin's Creed needs a female protagonist only. Shut the F up. It should be a mixture so you can pick and choose what you like. Not try to force your agenda on anyone else. That's why that's what makes everything suck now. So you can go read this yourself. It's insane. And this nonsense. How Birds of Prey deconstructs the male gaze. What about the female gaze? Women don't look at men? Really? That's why the movie sucked. And there's all this. It's always something against heterosexual males. As you saw in the other article, what they claim is toxic masculinity is that's not it. Doesn't even fit the term. But again, it's hijacked, and they're gonna alter it to fit their agenda. And this is more nonsense that came down a couple days ago. Batman sidekick Robin comes out as bisexual and lets comic fans know they are seen. Moron. They already have gay characters. So when they retcon a straight male character, that's agenda. Because if you wanted to appeal to a certain demographic, you could either use characters that already exist that are gay or create new ones. So when you change the character, all you're gonna do is piss the fans off, and that's all they're about. They're not about making money, and that's why they're getting smoked sales wise. King Spawn drop, kicking him in the butt. Berserker drop, kicking him in the butt. 600,000, 500,000 sales, and Marvel and DC comics, they're not selling like that. Which I'm gonna make another video with Berserker. I just picked up issue 3 the other day, so I'll do something on that after I finish this one. But anyways, I'm gonna cut this off, and if you guys wanna go read these articles or do a search and look up stuff on your own, feel free to do so. But other than that, please like and subscribe, and I will holler at you good folks later. Peace.